having a client that reverted back to how they were in the beginning. It's too difficult of a process, and it's too fabulous when you're done to go back. So I really haven't had that. And also when I'm setting up a client and setting up their spaces, I'm setting it up according to their lifestyle. So it's very easy to upkeep it.
Yeah. It's such a fast-paced world now. I mean, really, nobody's at home a lot anymore. So it's kind of easy, too, to either be one extreme of being messy because you are gone all the time and you don't have time to put things away, or to the other extreme, when you are at home, you're right away, throwing things and putting them away and then leaving again. So it's kind of hard for some people to find the middle.
Right. The thing is that if you are living in a space that is cluttered and unorganized, those people, unless they love that, which is fine, most people are coming home and are not happy in that space because it's like that. So when all of you think about that, why would you want to be in a place that doesn't feel comfortable, that doesn't feel fabulous? Why?
Right. Yeah.
It's only going to improve. Yeah. I mean, I walk into my home, it feels fabulous. I always love coming home because it feels so good and because it has all the things that I love. And to be able to create that for yourself is just a fabulous thing to do for your own self because it feels so good.
Exactly. Now, another thing I was wondering, too, because I've watched episodes of Hoarders, do you ever feel overwhelmed in the beginning when you walk into a house that's like that?
I did have a client once, and I don't even know if I would say I was overwhelmed. I was shocked by the way that this woman was living. She was in her late 60s, and a family member hired me really just for the day to see, what I could do for this woman. But she was beyond my help. I mean, there was food and wrappers and dirt, and the mattress was halfway off the bed. I don't even know how this woman was even sleeping in the room. I was stepping on, I would say, 8 inches to a foot of clothing, papers, books, whatever, on her bedroom, in the bedroom floor. And it was shocking. It was shocking.
Yeah,
and the woman could not get rid of anything. And I really suggested to our family that she really needed some psychological professional help because there was nothing that anybody really could do for her, besides have her leave the apartment and throw everything out when she wasn't there. And that's nothing that I do. In fact, when either husbands or wives hire me for each other, I said I will organize the space, but I will not get rid of anything unless the person is present without their permission. And that's the same thing with children, unless, of course, they're extremely young, because everybody has an attachment to their stuff, and when somebody moves it or takes it, it's a violation of that person. And that's very important that we don't do that.
Right. And I've had that happen to me where my brother and my husband have gone through things like we've been flooded a few times here because we had so much rain. And, I mean, the whole town I was in was underwater. And, they went through things and were throwing things out, and I'm looking at, like, what did they throw out? Because I know that they didn't look through it and say, oh, well, this is still salvageable, and this belongs to Pam. Let's ask her if she wants it. I know them. They just threw stuff out. And thankfully, I haven't figured out what they've thrown out. But I get really upset by that. At least ask me. And, part of it is my problem that I do hang on to things.
And that's okay.
It's hard. I need to get out of it. I want to get out of that. I want to get rid of a lot of things that I hold on to. But where I see on TV by watching these shows that there's more of a psychological reason that has nothing to do with cleanliness or hoarding. It's all because of something that's happened to them in their life, and that's they've become that person then because they weren't like that their whole life.
Correct.
And I know that that's part of my problem. Since my mom passed away 20-plus years ago from breast cancer, she was 52 years old, and she was not only my mother, she was my best friend. I mean, we could literally talk about anything with each other. I confided in her everything that I could possibly, confide to her, good or bad. And since she's been gone, I've felt this emptiness, this space, something that I'm missing. And I think that's why I do collect some of the things that I collect and I can't get rid of.
Right, because it's a security for you and it's a comfort for you.
Right.
And that's okay. When you are ready, you will be able to get rid of things. Maybe you'll start with your clothing closet, and you can't do anything until you're ready. And that's when people get to the point when they're ready, that's when they call me, to come in. But it takes time, and you need to be patient with yourself. The thing that's good is that you're thinking about it, and you know that it will make a difference in your life. So you need to be patient. When you're ready, it will get done, whether it's this year or next year or this month or next month. Whenever it is, it doesn't matter. When you're ready, you will do it, and then it will be easier.
Yeah, that's true. It's the first step into doing what you need to do.
A lot of people have fear, so they don't want to get rid of things because they don't think that they'll be able to replace them. Which is a negative thinking. They're putting that out there, like if I get rid of this, I'm never going to get it again. But that's a story that they're making up that's negative. We don't know that.
Right.
So it's all that negativity and fear that comes in.
That's true. And that's really what it's all centered around is the fear of the unknown. I think, but I think a lot of times when you do get rid of something and, you don't think about it, but then one day you do. It's like, I don't know, it's kind of like an afterthought almost. You're like, why was I hanging on to that for so long? But people hold on to things for all kinds of reasons, and
and it's all okay.
It is all okay.
It really is. Yep, it's all okay. But there are many, many, many people out there that are struggling, with this. And when I started 20 years ago, there was no organizing magazines. There were no stores like the Container Store. There were no TV shows on. And once it started to become popular and people realized how it can improve the quality of their lives, I mean, it's a billion-dollar industry, the organizing industry.
Well, you know what else, too? They realize that they're not the only ones like that, too.
Yes. And there are many people out there that need help and support. And for me, of course, I physically travel around the country, and I'm mostly in New York, but I also do a lot of coaching over Skype and over the phone with people around the country and in Sweden and Costa Rica and Argentina. I have clients. And what we do is we have Skyping sessions over the phone, and I work with them. Sometimes they take their cameras and show me their, the spaces. But basically I'm working on motivating them to make these positive changes.
Now, if one of our listeners wanted to do that with you, how would they do that?
They would contact me through Meryl at MerylStarr.com, which is MERYL, at Meryl Starr, STARR.com. and or they can go into my website, MerylStarr.com, and get in touch with me and sign up for a 55-minute coaching session. In fact, it would be great for all the listeners that are out there that are listening to the show right now. If in the next 24 hours they send me an email, I will offer them, if they buy one coaching session, they're $125 for 55 minutes. Mm-hmm. I will give them their second coaching session will be on me.
Aww.
So for all of your listeners, I just need to know that they did listen to your show, and if we do that in the next 24 hours, that would be my gift to anybody out there that's looking to get help.
Oh, that's so wonderful. Thank you for that.
Oh, that's so nice.
Oh, you're so welcome. There are just so many people out there that need the help and the support, and that's why I wrote the books too, because there's so many great tips in there, besides the fact that the hard copies aren't available anymore, but the e-books, which are available on Amazon, just the tips and the stories and the projects that are in the books just make it so much easier also for you to get organized.
And if you think about it, it's funny in a way. It's kind of I don't know, where you have the e-books, you're not making any more clutter with books.
I know, which is so great. I love you. It's so great. And you know why I love the books also? Because they're so basic. Like one of the things in the books under kitchens, it's like it says the problem. I don't have enough cabinet space. Mm-hmm. And then on the next page, I give you all the organizing solutions on what you can do to increase your closet space.
Well, I'm going to download those books for sure because that'll help me. They're
great. They're just classics. They really are. And then besides that, then I have projects in there. So, like one of the projects would be setting up a mail system. Mm-hmm. And I tell you the time it's going to take, what you're going to need to do that, and step by step what you need to do to set the system up. And then I give you maintenance strategies on how you can maintain that space.
Well, that's
so the books are great. Yeah, the books are wonderful. The Home Organizing Workbook, of course, has to do with all, your home, the living room, the kitchen, the dining room, the mudroom. And then the Personal Organizing Workbook is really wonderful because it has to do with just your personal stuff, your to-do list, relationships, and then finally staying organized. Because not only do we have physical clutter, but we also have emotional and mental clutter.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Very true.
There's so many, there's clutter in our relationships. That's why the divorce rate is 50%.
So
true. There's clutter in the relationships with, our mother-in-laws and our husband's friends, so it's important to have boundaries and to also even declutter your relationships. Why are you spending time with those girls if you don't even like them?
Right,
mm-hmm.
Right.
Very
yeah,
true.
I mean, especially once you're an adult, you don't need to be in the in crowd anymore,
Right.
Yeah.
There's no reason to have any negativity. And to go even further, this is where, a lot of the coaching comes in, is that the negative thoughts that we have,
mm-hmm.
the negative things that we're saying about ourselves and others, that's all clutter.
Right. You have to have more positive in your life, and that's what Dawn and I have been trying to live by. We've been involved in negative situations, and it's not a good feeling. You get caught up in that, and it's hard to get out. And then one day I thought, oh, my gosh, I feel horrible about myself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like feeling like this because I've never been a negative person like that. And so I said, that's it, I'm done. I'm going on back to positivity because it works. And as they say, the karma comes back to you. Whatever you put out there is what you're going to get back. And it's so very true. So very true.
Yeah,
very true.
Absolutely.
Now, you used to have your own radio show, but you are thinking of coming back. So
yes.
Can you tell the listeners what you'd be talking about? Basically the same thing probably, right?
Yes. I am going to come to Blog Talk Radio because I think it's very interesting and fabulous. Thanks to you, Pam, for turning me on to it.
You're welcome.
The show is going to be Let's Get Organized with Meryl Starr, and